Hey guys, I'm Emily Walsh and today I'm going to be doing a Halloween special. And in today's video, we're going to be talking about vegan horror stories. So, I've been doing my rounds. This is my latest patient. How you doing? Yeah, he's doing really well. I'm such a good nurse. Okay, so for our first story, I'm going to cover brides, vegan brides. Ooh. So before we get into the stories, I please ask you to like and subscribe and to click the bell icon so you can be notified of all my upcoming videos. And don't forget, my social media is linked below, as well as my Patreon, so you can support me and my videos. Okay, so I'm just gonna put on my reading glasses. Okay, so bride sparks controversy with vegan menu at wedding ceremony. Their loss, not yours. This I see like way too often in the vegan community. Obviously, when a vegan gets married, they're not going to want to sacrifice an animal for their celebration. Like, that's just the last thing we want to do, is have people eat animals in front of us on our special day. A bride is wondering if she messed up when she didn't push a family member to attend her wedding. She consulted Reddit's Am I a forum for help. The bride was serving only vegan food at her wedding, and when a family member found out, that person decided not to attend. But after the wedding, and the menu was a smash hit, the family member blamed the bride for not making the ceremony seem enticing enough. Are you serious? Like, here's the thing, right? You're going to a wedding to celebrate the bride and the groom's special day. It's not about you. It's not about you and what you want to eat. Okay, so and what you want for the wedding. It's about them. They shouldn't have to make it enticing for you to actually want to go. Like, I think everybody would agree that that's a bit slack. In June 2019, my husband and I had our outdoor wedding, the bride explained. The issue is I've been vegan for over a decade and I was adamant I would have no animal products at our wedding. One of my husband's close family members, although he doesn't like her very much, refused to come because the menu was entirely vegan. Due to her not coming, her husband and other family of her nucleus didn't come. The day of the wedding was wonderful. The food was fantastic, and a lot of his family was amazed at how delicious everything was. Much to my immense delight, a great time was had by all, and through the grapevine, my husband heard the family raved about it for months. Wow, that's really awesome. Vegan food is really amazing, and when people say they don't eat vegan food, that's a lie. Like, unless you only eat animal products, you eat vegan food. You might not very often eat exclusively vegan food, but everybody eats vegan food, right? So there's really no excuse if you eat fruits, veggies, rice, nuts, beans, potatoes, like all these things, then there really isn't any excuse to say that you're not coming along. But after the pandemic limited large gatherings, it seemed the family member had a change of heart. This summer we went down to see family and the topic of get-togethers came up. Cousins started talking about our wedding, reminiscing how everything was so quietly elegant, and then started raving about the food again. Family member who didn't come became very huffy. Well, that's your fault, you know? Apparently she didn't realize the food was going to be so good and the event so nice, and resents that everyone had this great event that she missed. Had I insisted more and had I emphasized how amazing the food was going to be, she might have come. Every time Every time or other people's weddings are mentioned, she makes a face and rolls her eyes a bit at me. Perhaps I really should have pushed more for her presence. Oh my God. So guys, please put in the comment section if you think that it was her fault, or that was the bride's fault. She sounds like a nasty beep to me, and I'm happy actually, like she should be happy that biatch didn't come to her wedding, because it's like, it seemed like it was all about her and not actually about the husband and like wife, the bride and groom. Like, honestly, share your thoughts in the comments. I would like to know anyone that would disagree and think that it was the bride's fault. Okay, so now we're going to get on to another bride story. Vegan bride upset after in-laws refused to add meat-free options to wedding menu because they're paying. Wow. So they won't even add vegan options, as in they're not even going to feed their own, I assume, like daughter-in-law a meal that she can eat. Are you serious? Okay, I just want to say before I read this article, if that was me, I would be like, I'd be going to my husband to be, and I'll be like, if you don't change their minds, I'm not getting married. Because if you go to your wedding that's supposed to be all about you and the husband, and you can't even eat, not only do you have to sit and watch people eat dead animals in front of you, which is a horrific nightmare for vegans enough, you have to then you can't even eat. You can't even have one meal for yourself. That's ridiculous. I haven't even read the article. I'm already annoyed. The bride-to-be took to a wedding forum on Facebook to vent out her frustration and seek advice. A vegan bride has been asked to eat around the meat on her wedding day by her future in-laws. Oh my God. Talk about monster in-laws. Jeez. If that were me, I'd be like, no, I'll just pay for myself. Like, honestly, I would either really reduce the wedding down to an affordable size, or I just pay out the whole wedding myself and be like, don't worry about it. You can pay off a wedding. Like, you can save up or like get a loan or something. There's no way I'd eat around the meat. Like, that just sounds like a nightmare. In her post, she complained that her fiance's meat-obsessed family won't allow her to have any plant-based options on the menu since they are paying for the catering. Since the woman's future husband also refused to stand up for her, she sought advice on the group. See, there you go. If my boyfriend, didn't stick up for me for something that important, I wouldn't marry him. It'd be like, do you want to marry me? No, I don't. Seriously, she needs to stop the wedding and be like, fine, don't pay for it. I'm not. Yeah, what do you guys think in the comments? Honestly, I want to know, because I wouldn't be getting married to that jerk. I would not be getting married to that jerk. They always make jokes about me being vegan, which I let go over my head and usually results in me sorting out my own food if we have dinner together. My fiance always stays quiet and never sticks up for me. Okay, so what I can gather from here is that maybe he's just a really shy guy that doesn't like conflict. I just wouldn't be happy at all with him. Yeah, maybe best, eloping. Eloping is good. Just get married without him. Just get married without, we're already married. You weren't invited. We only had, just like used to together, that's it. The post has garnered an outpouring of support, backlash for the future family, and well-meaning advice for the bride-to-be. Well, that's a relief that people are actually supportive. It's actually really nice to hear. This is all about the power dynamics operating in the family you're about to marry into. Name it and sort it out now if you can. Maybe with a counselor, it's not about the food. Yes, I agree. Stand your ground and stick up for your rights. It's your wedding day and you should have the final say in everything. If they can't respect that, then maybe you're marrying in the wrong family. I honestly couldn't agree more with this. Yeah, so let's move on from Bridezillas to something a little bit more sad. And that is a young 12-year-old boy who committed suicide after being bullied for being vegan. Okay, so here he is here. Oh, he looks so cute. So vegan schoolboy 12 killed himself after bullies threw meat at him. That's horrible. A 12-year-old vegan schoolboy killed himself after bullies threw pieces of meat at him, an inquest heard. Yeah, like, is it just me? Or do you really want to see, like, this boy, come back as a ghost and, like, haunt them and get his revenge? That would be so good right now. Hertfordshire Court heard yesterday's how Laurie was bullied for his decision to go vegan at Richard Hale School, Hertford. In a letter read out in court, his mother, Catherine Fenton, said he had been bullied regularly since he arrived at Richard Hale School. He had regular appointments with the council and he started self-harming. They threw meat at him in the canteen because he was vegan. The court heard how he would have to go outside at lunch times to avoid the bullies and had started smoking heavily as a way of coping with the torment. Wow. Smoking as a 12-year-old, geez. Despite his mother approaching the school several times, the bullying continued, she claimed. See, this is why I think that we really need to educate our children on vegan and vegetarian diet, on the lifestyle, because really vegan is not a diet, it's a lifestyle decision. And we need to teach our children to be respectful. And I think that I definitely am a big believer that we should push to make vegan and vegetarian a part of the Anti-Discrimination Act. 100%, because there's way too much bullying going on, and you'll find out in these upcoming stories. So I seeked my local Facebook group called Vegans of Australia, or Vegans in Australia, and I asked for their vegan horror stories, and this is what they came up with. Okay, so one person said, chunk of bacon on my vegan pizza. Yup. Finding a chunk of meat in your food that would be so bad. Being served flavorless gelatinous tofu as a main at a wedding where you're a bridesmaid and starving. Oh my God, another wedding story, only this time it's the bridesmaid. So just like the tofu, like no marinade or whatever, I assume it's like not even firm tofu. That's like we're not talking about people just making up food at their homes. We're talking about professional caterers, like providing that. That's wrong. Ugh. Okay. Ordering a vegan curry that came with tofu and finding pieces of chicken throughout it. Yep. Again, another finding meat in your food type of scenarios. Ugh. Oh, okay. This next one is my pet peeve. I hate this. They say, we don't have vegan options, but we do have gluten-free ones. Like, what the hell? Like, it's completely different. Like, gluten starts with a G and vegan starts with a V. It's pretty obvious they're two different things. That's why we came up with two different words. You know? That gluten is a mixture of proteins that's mainly found in wheat. It is not an animal product. Veganism excludes animal products. That's the difference. I eat plenty of gluten. I eat plenty of bread, plenty of pasta, lots and lots of gluten. Okay, so this one reads, ordering a vegan lasagna at a pub and it had vegan cheese sauce, lasagna sheets, the works. Go back months later and it's literally just veggies in a tomato-based sauce. Don't know whether I was more concerned how shitty it was the second time because they changed the recipe, or if I got a non-vegan one the first time, did not want to ask. That's even worse, like not knowing. Being served a plate of sliced tomato at a wedding. Really? Again? Like, these are professional caterers. Being given stodgy, inedible risotto, justifying that it was covered in chicken bits, dripping as it had sat under the chicken when cooking in the oven. Ew. 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 Oh my god, so this one's really, really scary, guys. This one's super scary. I was a lifelong vegetarian when I had my babies. So this is obviously before she went vegan, but still she was vegetarian. So that means no meat, right? No animals. After both of my first two, the hospital served me brains. I gagged the first time when I lifted the cover and the server said, but it's not meat. Really? Are you serious? Like, ew! Normal people wouldn't want to freaking eat brains. Who the hell, like, what normal meat eater wants to eat brains, let alone a vegetarian? Oh my god. I would have been like, is this your brain? Because you're clearly missing a brain, you moron. That's what I would have said. Jesus. Okay, this one comes with a picture. I'll put it up here. Wait, no, there. Whatever. This being the vegan canopy. I'm not gonna do it. Offered on a work Christmas harbor cruise back in 2018. The company paid $50 per head for catering. That's a lot. That's professional catering. Also, the sauce had been used for everyone to dip their arancini in before it getting served to me. That's so shit. Like, you know what I would do? I would say I want my money back. Like, I'd be like, no, they didn't feed me adequately. You should get your money back for that. And I would have complained like hardcore. Now, I'm not, like, I hate using this word Karen or whatever. I don't really complain very often. And when I do, I'm really nice. But when it's something, when you pay for something and they just pull out something like really inadequate and not worth the money, it's like, how can you not just go off your nut at them? Like, seriously. Okay, end of year work function. Oh, I've heard the worst work functions. I've had one really bad work function and I'm like, I never want to go back. I got a store-bought Greek salad in the plastic container with the feta cheese picked off by hand. Ew. That just a Greek salad without the cheese is just usually quite plain anyway. And more of a side salad. You can't have a side salad as a main. Seriously. Like, I don't know how many meat eaters don't understand that a side salad doesn't make a main. Being served my mains at a wedding and it's just 2 slices of grilled watermelon with a side of, wait for it, meagerine noodles. Sorrento, Italy. I order the vegan sandwich option. It comes out as 2 slices of white bread with a thin slice of raw, unmarinated tofu in the middle. Definitely the worst ever vegan option. Yeah, guys, just so you know, when you have tofu, when you serve tofu, it has to be marinated or like seasoned. It's tofu is very similar to chicken. It tastes better when you add stuff to it. Iceberg lettuce and plain white rice for end of year work do. And another one is 0 vegetarian and vegan restaurants within 15 kilometers of me. Okay, so the last one reads, on a plane leaving Holland, my vegan option meal was, I kid you not, 1 wilted lettuce leaf with 2 slices dried out cucumber and 1 slice of shrunken tomato. That would be the worst because it's not like you can like take food on the plane and then you're kind of stuck because it's not like you can go and buy something else. I guess at the end of the day, there's always vodka. Okay guys, so I'm just going to leave this video with one more horror story, and that will be my own horror story. And it was at a work function, but it wasn't my work function. It was actually at my mum's partner's work function. It was like more of a family barbecue type of thing. So her partner dragged my mum and me and my brother along to it. So I didn't know anyone except for the people that I came with. I had met everyone for the first time. And obviously you know that it's like really awkward when you first get somewhere, like when you don't know anyone and it's not even your work party. And they're having a barbecue, and just like a lot of Aussie barbecues, there's a lot of meat and not a lot of anything else. Maybe some really plain salad. And I just remember that as soon as I mentioned that I was vegan, I didn't even want to mention it, to be honest. I just remember starting a conversation and I talked about my YouTube channel, which is my main channel, Slightly Crazy Vegan. And they asked me what I do there. And I said, you know, I do vegan cooking shows. And as soon as I said that, they were like, oh, what are you doing here then? I'm like, well, I'm coming along to a work's Christmas party that I was invited to. Like, why else, you know? And they were like, oh, okay. And then it was just the worst. So basically I had this guy just like making like vegan jokes the whole time, which I don't even get from my own family. My family are actually really good. When it comes to like the food, they're willing to cater to me, even if like they don't give me enough. Sometimes, sorry guys, if my family are watching, but it's not enough. I want more. I'm hungry. I need to feed this body, you know? But they've never bullied me for my decisions, my decision to go vegan. And this guy was just totally making jokes, and I was just like, oh my God, like, I feel uncomfortable. I don't even know you as it is. And you're making it even more uncomfortable by putting me down about, you know, something you don't even like know anything about. And then that wasn't even the worst. This other guy, he really got triggered for some reason. And he was like pointing at me, like going, you blah, 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 da, 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 da. And I'm like, I'm just sitting there like, I don't even know you. I'm just sitting there like copping it like, what the hell? And my brother actually pipes up, and he's a pretty quiet guy, but he actually pipes up and actually starts sticking up for me. So that's how bad it was. Like my brother actually had to speak up. And I'm just like, oh my God. And I think the others, they did tell him to calm down. So that was good. But I ended up leaving the party early. Thank God. But I should have, honestly, when I think back, what I'm going to do now is I'm just going to, like, if I ever have that rude of a person, I'm just going to get up and say, I'm sorry, but you're making me feel uncomfortable. And I'm going to leave now. And just leave. Because they'll either do 2 things. They'll either convince me to stay and be nice, or they'll be like, I don't know, whatever, and then you can at least leave, and then you don't have to deal with them. Okay guys, so I hope you enjoyed my Halloween special video. Please like and subscribe and tick the bell icon. Don't forget my social media is linked in the description. Happy Halloween!